Hi, in this video we're going to show you a free word processing app you could use on your computer. So if you're using Windows 11 and you have a current build, you probably noticed that WordPad has been removed for some reason. So a lot of people like to use that because it's nice and simple, or they don't have another option such as Microsoft Word installed. So we do have a couple ways to get WordPad back if you really want to use it. So I'll put a link to that in the description. But if you want something with some extra features that is free, then you could try this one out. It's called Atlantis Word Processor Lite. So they do have a regular version or a pro version that does cost money with more features, obviously, but this one is the free one. So if you just open up the Microsoft Store and do a search for Atlantis Word Processor Lite, then you could click on Get or Install, and it will install it on your computer. And then once you run it, here's what it looks like. So it has a lot of options here in the toolbar or ribbon. So we're just going to show you some of the features here, and then you could decide if you want to try it out for yourself. All right, so we have a blank document open here, and then I also have a Word document open. So it will open Word documents just fine, as you can see. Then you could just toggle in between them like so. All right, so let's just go over some of these options real quick so you can see what's there. I'm not going to go over everything, obviously, but let's start with the menus up here. So for example, if we go to Open, you can see the type of files we could open here. Text files, RTF files, Word documents, that type of thing. All right, then we have our recent and favorites, and then there's some templates as well, different categories. If you click on it, you get a little preview, like so. You have save as options, you have your print options, print preview. So if you do print preview, you just have to come back here and uncheck it. You can email it. You have to set it up though. You can make projects as well, which contain multiple documents. So that's kind of a nice feature. All right, then we have our edit options here with, cut, copy, paste, go to, find. This is kind of cool to change the case. Formatting options, insert options, symbols. You could actually insert date and time, pictures, other files, links, make a table of contents, page numbers, tables and columns. And a few of your toolbars, show or hide them. You can show the ruler, hide scroll bars if you need to do that for some reason, zoom options, and then different view options here if you have multiple documents open. Then it has the typical spell check, thesaurus, autocorrect options, word count. You can make envelopes. You could run it as a portable version. And we have the options here. Not a whole lot of options. All right, then up here we have our file options here. New, open, save, email, properties, print. You could actually have it zip up the document for you right on the spot. That's a nice feature. Save as a web page. Shrink the page size by making the font smaller. Change the orientation. Save all documents. Here's where you make the project with multiple files. You can open your project and close all documents. Right, then here we have the typical undo, redo, find, cut, copy, paste, delete, join the paragraphs, split paragraphs, change the case. Just kind of hover over these and you can see what they do here. This Clippy Bank is kind of interesting. It allows you to add multiple things to kind of a clipboard type of thing. And then once you have everything in there, you could use it and go back to it and then paste them into your document. So it's kind of like a clipboard storage for things that you use all the time. And here's an option to have it collect all data when you copy it. All right, then we have our font sections here. With, bold, italics, change the color, the format brush, kind of like Word has. Offset, subscript, superscript, small caps. You want to clear your formatting, format your font. All right, then here we have all our paragraph spacing and that type of thing for alignment, bulleted and numbered lists. You could actually pick different styles. It actually has more options than Word does for this. Spacing options, copy paragraph format. All right, then here we have some insert options here, some symbols. You want to insert the date, the time. You can make columns, insert pictures, insert files, date, time again, footnotes and endnotes, links, index entries, make an index. It's kind of a nice feature. I haven't tried the index feature, but that'd be interesting to see how that works. Update your fields, insert a field, lines, page numbers, addresses. View options here. You want to see your special symbols. If you want to see things like your headings and section breaks and bookmarks, the rulers, headers and footers. This is a nice feature too if you want to use a hand and then scroll through your document that way. Turn that off. Cascade your windows, so if you have multiple documents open, you can kind of see them better. Change it to horizontal or vertical view as well. Spell checker, language settings. You can turn off the autocorrect if you don't want that on. You can even go to the options for autocorrect. So when you see this little down arrow here, there are additional options for that. Thesaurus, envelopes. And then here we have our list options. And then over here we have some help. Go to the home site. And if you click on this, it'll take you to the options that we saw. And if you want to revert it back to factory settings, you could do that from here. Go to their website and so on. Then down here you have your typical bar with information, pages, insert option, language, word count, spelling options. If you want to zoom, you could do that from here. Then if we highlight some text, you could right click, you have your typical options here. Append to your Clippy bank, add to your clip library. Same thing with pictures. All right, so if I highlight this word, for example, append to Clippy bank. Same with this picture here. And if I go back here, and show the Clippy bank, it just keeps it in a separate file here. And then you could recopy and paste it. So this didn't do anything with the current document. You just see it has the Clippy bank, and then you can toggle back and forth. So if I go back to here, say I want this whole paragraph for later, append to Clippy bank. Now it has this. So then if I want to copy and paste it somewhere else, just come back here. And now I could use this later on in this document or a different document because it'll have all my saved clipboard items right here. So that's kind of how the Clippy bank works. All right, so there is your basic overview of Atlantis Word Processor Lite. I know I just pretty much went over all the tools and options, but that's pretty much all you can do when you're demonstrating something like this, because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me edit a document. All right, so once again, just go to the Microsoft Store, do a search for Atlantis Word Processor Lite. Make sure it's from the Atlantis Word Processor team and has this icon. Install it, and then you'll be able to create your own documents or edit your existing documents. All right, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe.